Good morning, Mario, and good morning, Switch fans. Happy Friday, always cause for celebration, and what's the best Nintendo celebration? Nintendo Directs. That's why today a new leak is giving us the inside track on the big finale game for Nintendo's coming February Direct. Is it Zelda Breath of the Wild 2? Is it something brand new? We'll give you all the details. Speaking of Breath of the Wild 2, Nintendo confirms that it's still coming in 2022. A Star Wars Warriors game might hit the Switch, and a promising eShop price cut just went down. So what's going on, everybody? It's Zach from SwitchForce. Hope you all had a good week and are ready to have an even better weekend. Make sure to hit that like button if you enjoy this show, and let me know your take on today's topics in the comments down below. Side note, my wardrobe expanded by about 20% because I got rid of the green screen. Now I can wear green. Couple quick hitters to kick things off here. Pokemon Legends Arceus, once again, just doing work. All right, Nintendo thanked its fans by stating that Pokemon Legends Arceus has sold 6.5 million copies in 1 week, making it the fastest selling Pokemon game on Switch, and there's only one SKU. Holy moly. Now Sword and Shield dropped 6 million units in the first week. Pokemon Legends Arceus at 6.5 is feeling so fine. In fact, did you know that 6.5 million units is more than Smash Ultimate sold in its first week? Super Smash Bros. On Switch pushed 5 million units, and that game is just massive. And somehow Legends Arceus in January just beat it by a whole 1.5 million. This game is gonna sell insanely, and I wonder how high it'll climb. It's really gonna be on the top 10 soon, and it's even got a shot to one day reach top 5 status. Now, I don't know if Kirby is in your top 5 Nintendo characters, but they're treating him as such. HAL Laboratories announced yesterday that, Kirby, we're excited for the Forgotten Land, it's coming soon, and yes, we still have more exciting things planned for the Pink Puff's big anniversary. So whatever they got going on for the 30th anniversary, it's still in the works, it's still coming, and it probably will seem more substantial than The Legend of Zelda got in 2021. But TBA on what exactly it is, more games, merch promos, I'm not entirely sure, but I know I'm pretty darn pumped for Forgotten Land, which is now 6 weeks away. So there's Hyrule Warriors, there's Fire Emblem Warriors. I'm making a push for Splat Warriors, but one of the head honchos over at Koei Tecmo is making a push for Star Warriors. Star Wars Warriors. All right, Mr. Akihiro Suzuki, who is the producer on Dynasty Warriors, the franchise that spawned all of these Warriors games, he says he wants to work with a galaxy far, far away. Within the dev team, a lot of different IP and works have been brought up. He says, this is solely my own opinion, but my own personal wish would be for a Star Wars crossover. He wants Musou to meet Darth Maul. He wants the Warriors to meet the Jedi. And frankly, I think it would be freaking sweet. There are so many Star Wars games in development right now, many of them at Respawn. They've got 3. We know that Quantic Dream is on another. Hunters is coming to Switch, even though that kind of feels mobile-ish. Would it be cool to get another Warriors game done up in galactic style? You want to be the Emperor floating around zapping all the little minion poor Jawas with your electric fury. Now, I think Nintendo probably will dip back into the Warriors pot themselves. Hyrule Warriors has had 2 go-arounds. Fire Emblem Warriors could be back again, and we've heard rumors that the Fire Emblem IP is ready to rage. A brand new game, a remake, and maybe a spin-off, and perhaps this is where they do return to the Warriors franchise. I would rather see new IP. The games actually are better than I think they get credit for. I'd even be down for a Mushroom Kingdom Warriors. But let me know in the comments down below if you'd be pumped to play a Star Wars Years game on Switch, or if you'd rather see them stick to Nintendo franchises, and if you agree that Splat Warriors would be ultimate. That would be amazing. Can't wait for Splatoon 3. So hyped. Give us a release date, please. Now then, we don't know the exact release date for Zelda Breath of the Wild 2, but Nintendo did confirm yesterday that, hey, their schedule is still on track. And look, I know there's a lot of back and forth. People believe Zelda might get pushed to 2023. People believe it might just eke in and make 2022. I know that Nintendo does not like delaying. And even though Zelda never had a set release date, it sure felt last year like Aonuma was kind of apologetic and saying we don't have much to show you for Breath of the Wild 2. It feels like it already kind of received its delay based on the pandemic and all the problems that caused for development. I don't think Nintendo wants to push this again, and their official documents show that it's still slated for 2022, which is a good thing. Now, if it's going to get delayed, probably doesn't happen till around the summer, but I really think it's going to hit. And if you look at the rest of their calendar, everything else is still on track. They got Bayonetta 3 slotted in for 2022, Splatoon 3 slotted in for 2022, and Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope, which is with Ubisoft, still also slated for this year. The other games mentioned were Advance Wars 1+2, which says spring 2022, but we know that's early April based on some retailer leaks. And then they got good old Metroid Prime 4, which is the only game currently on the horizon with a TBA. Now the other side of this coin is that there's not a whole lot out there that's been announced. Nintendo is really ramping up to just go boof and give you a ton of new details on new games that nobody's heard about before. Their calendar does have some heavy hitters, Splat and Zelda and Bayonetta, but we don't know the rest. And I think this is one of the times where we really know actually very little. The year already seems great based on what's announced, but we truly don't have the full picture. And I think that's coming very soon. Before we get to the Direct, let's talk about Cruisin Blast, which I think is setting a nice precedent for the Switch eShop. Let me know if you agree. Because Cruisin Blast released on September 14th, 2021, and it initially cost $40, which felt maybe a little high for an arcade racer. Now it did get pretty good reviews as a nice nostalgic throwback, about a 70% on Metacritic, but I felt like the price was high for the package. Well, today they announced that they're dropping the thing half. Permanently. This isn't a Switch eShop sale, which we see all the time, but this is an official price drop, making the game $19.99, which feels much more palatable. In fact, it feels really appealing, and I bet they see a nice sales boost because of this decision. Now, I think more eShop games should do just this. If A, you're not selling as well as you want, B, customer feedback says it's a bit too high, or C, the game has been out for quite a while, drop that price officially. Now you could argue that it happens with sales, and so what's the point of making an official drop when the sales are doing it for them? But I really like this strategy, and I think it'll be interesting to see if Cruisin Blast does see a good bump and if they report that, hey, this worked. I would love to see more eShop games do just this, because so many come out. There's plenty of games from years ago that I never played that somehow are still sitting at full price. And I'd probably be inclined to pick them up if they do something similar to what Raw Thrills did with Cruisin Blast. Let me know if you'd be inclined to buy more eShop games, if permanent price drops were a thing, or if you just don't care because sales happen all the time and at the end of the day, you're still probably gonna get a discount one way or the other. We've dealt a lot with numbers the past couple of episodes, right? Like all this Nintendo financial stuff, all their sales figures, all their future projections, it's a bunch of math. But the silver lining to all of that academia is that the Nintendo Direct comes 1 to 2 weeks after their financial call. That is the pattern, that is the history, and this is February. And like I mentioned earlier, Nintendo needs to let out their plans, what's going on for the rest of this year, and maybe even beyond. Well, we might now know the big hitter from the February Direct, because up and down leaker Zippo, who's got a lot right and has got stuff wrong, says that he knows the big game. He knows the big reveal, and I quote, "If you made Super Bowl-sized bets on this new blank not being real, you're gonna be out a lot of money." So he feels very confident that despite people saying, and poo-pooing this rumor, that he knows what Nintendo's huge finale will be. Zippo believes that Kirby and the Forgotten Land, Advance Wars 1+2 Reboot Camp, Splatoon 3, Xenoblade Chronicles 3, and the new Fire Emblem will all be featured at this Direct. And he says there should be even more big announcements revealed because Nintendo's slate is waiting for them to reveal it. But then he goes on to say that he believes the star of the show will be none other than Mario Kart 9, which so many people think ain't happening because 8 Deluxe still sells so well. In fact, in Q4 of last year, 8 Deluxe beat out most of Nintendo's new games, which is just wild, but at the same time, a new Mario Kart would be absolutely energetic. It would make this year go from crazy to insane, and you know I'm all about that. I love Mario Kart so much, it's probably my favorite Nintendo game of the last decade, and it's the only thing I think that rivals Breath of the Wild 2 right now in terms of supreme hype. Getting a trailer for BOTW 2 or for Mario Kart 9 will make the internet explode, and Mario Kart 9 is right now, I don't think really all that predicted. Zippo sounds super confident saying Super Bowl-sized money bets will go bad if you picked against MK9. And he seems to think that we are going to see it, and I would love that. There's been a lot of rumors tied to Nintendo Kart being a thing and kind of evolving Mario Kart more in the vein of Smash Bros. Ultimate, incorporating a bunch of characters from other Nintendo IP and maybe even third-party faces to make this a really fleshed out, fun experience. Now, who knows what else new they'll have? We heard a rumor of like a new gimmick, whether that's like another racer, triple dash, or how they decide to frame this, probably with an online focus. It would be really huge news. Now, I'll say for me, as much as I love the idea of Mario Kart 9, I'm still skeptical. All right, and I think because Nintendo opted to skip the Game Awards for Breath of the Wild 2, there is a chance that Zelda is the one that pops up and features in the finale of this next Direct. I mean, they could give us a name, they could give us a more concrete date, they could give us just more story and gameplay details, and that really would energize the base. They also could do something different and maybe target a summer game that's coming out sooner. Heck, any of the ones Zippo mentioned previously could be the feature. Fire Emblem is a big deal, especially if it's a sequel of sorts to Three Houses. Even Splatoon 3 getting a date is a massive proposition. Xenoblade Chronicles 3 has a huge fan base of its own, or maybe it's just something that we can't quite possibly predict, or another one of the rumored games like Metroid Prime Remake, Donkey Kong, or even something new for Pokemon. What is safe to say though, is that this Direct will be pretty mega. I think it will be massive, it just has to be, based on the stuff that they need to tell us about that we already know, and the stuff that we don't know. I mean, there's just a lot to get into, and I am beyond excited for the reveal. Any day now, Nintendo could drop the tweet that says, "Tune in Thursday for our next feature presentation," and I feel like that's gonna happen ASAP. So of course I'll keep you posted, but let me know in the comments down below if you would be super pumped to see Mario Kart 9 as the finale. Or would you rather it be Breath of the Wild 2 and just get more information on a known quantity? Or what the heck would you like them to finish off with? Let me know in the comments down below. And now, let's move on to our poll. You might remember yesterday, we talked about Furukawa stating that the Switch is still at the midpoint of its life cycle, implying a 10-year lifespan for this sweet system. So I asked you all, do you want the Nintendo Switch to last for a decade? Yes, no, or only if they release a Pro model? And it was pretty definitive that y'all are okay with the Switch just lasting. It's great value, says 58%, and these games, like, don't matter if they have the newest graphics, they're so much fun to play. And the pace and the quality of the releases, I don't know how you could argue against that. Now 16% said no, that's way too long, and I do understand that as well. Like, I love new stuff, I love evolutions, and for as cool as the Switch is, maybe Nintendo can do even better. Maybe they can expand, evolve, and make it even more superior. Now 26%, myself included, said only if they release a 4K version along the way. And I think if there really is an intention to keep the Switch around till 2026, they do need to make a boosted model. I really think at some point it's just gonna become too much of a discrepancy. Development will be very hard for third parties, and Nintendo fans kind of deserve new tech. Like, you don't have to buy it. It'd be great if there is full backwards compatibility. Like, the best case scenario is you don't need to buy it, but the option's there if you want to move into modern visual technology. Now make sure you all move over to the community tab to find the polls every weekday evening and Sunday night, which is when the next one will be posted, so you can be a part of the conversation. It is the weekend, my friends. I hope you guys have fun. I hope you're all staying safe, staying healthy, staying happy, staying positive out there. GMM returns on Monday. We'll have fun videos over the weekend. Until that time, thank you. I appreciate all you so much. Your messages, your comments, all of your support means the world to me. Couldn't do it without you, and I hope to see you next time very soon. Until that though, thanks again everybody. SwitchForce out.